bench in the park is all alone in the dark. So little Jack Frost, get lost, get lost. Little Jack Frost, get lost, get lost. LJ Frost, get lost.
I love that song. That's Emily Claire Barlow, Little Jack Frost. And of course, we know Jack Frost, right? That wintry character, specialty in nose nipping. Well, what if Jack decided that a new career was necessary? What if he didn't want to be the guy who heralded winter each year? That is the premise of a new play from Cow Over Moon Children's Theatre, and two of its members are here with me this morning. Terrence Balazzo, he wrote and directs Jack Frost, and Kathleen Phillips is one of the actors. Hello to you both. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning.
So Jack Frost considers a career change in this play. Where does that idea come from, Terrence?
It comes from partially in the mid-'70s. There was a cartoon made by Rankin and Bass who did Frosty and Rudolph, where the plot was Jack Frost wants to get rid of his winter powers. And secondly,
this is not original.
Well, kind of. And secondly, because I'm a man in my mid-30s and a big Superman fan, it's based on a bit of the plot of Superman 2. But that's irrelevant at this point. It's so he falls in love with a girl and can't be with humans because he's a winter spirit and has to find a way to become a human.
I love it. You know, it's so interesting the way your theater group, Cow Over Moon Children's Theatre, takes these fairy tales, traditional ones, and then you add this twist. Tell us more about that, Kathleen.
The way that we work mostly is to take an original fairy tale and then it's sort of like a fractured fairy tale. So we take the original and then we build a storyline around it, and we build skeleton scenes. So we don't. There's no script when we're putting these shows together. So we have an outline for every scene, and then when we rehearse, we're just using improv in between to build the characters and the storyline.
Right, as Terrence and I were discussing, the lazy man's way to comedy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It is very lazy.
When you said fractured fairy tales, were you referring to the old Rocky and Bullwinkle show? I remember watching that.
Yeah, it's kind of that same idea where you take the seed of a fairy tale and then you run in a different direction with it, with all the same characters and the same theme. But
do you know what it also reminds me of too? I don't know if you're familiar with Bob Munch and the Paper Bag Princess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you know that was such a huge hit, right? Kids love the fact that it had that twist over the usual, the traditional kind of fairy tale.
Yeah, we find that a lot of kids come expecting things out of the fairy tales, such as what Disney has done or what other things have done, and by changing it, it keeps the kids more involved in it because it's unexpected. And they seem to like it quite a lot. It's gone very well.
How did Cow Over Moon Theatre start? What was the genesis of this?
It was a group of friends who went to high school together in Mississauga at Cawthra Park. And in 1994, they did their first full-length show at the Burnham Thorpe Library Theatre in Mississauga, where we still do shows. And from there, it's blossomed to... There's only a few people left from the original group. The head of the company, Catherine Granger, is one of the people who was from the original group. She's still in charge of it. And I got involved in around 2000, and we used to do 3 or 4 shows a year. Now we're down to doing maybe 2. And
that's really lazy.
I know. It's tough, though. It's hard to come up, because there's only so many fairy tales we've found so far. There's many more, of course, that we can do, but we've tend to stick with the traditional ones. We've done one Irish fairy tale, and
I was just thinking that you could go abroad, right? I mean, all the different cultural fairy tales all over the world.
Yeah. So we're planning on doing that soon, but we've gone back. Jack Frost we did six years ago. This is a different version of it, but we've gone back to revisit ones we've done.
It's also a lot shorter version of the original Jack Frost. We used to do...
This is just getting worse and worse.
Oh, no.
We're doing fewer. It's even shorter. We've run out of ideas. I don't know.
We're lying down the entire time.
We're lying down.
The whole stage covered in beds.
You know, I was wondering, though, because I know that the audience is a huge part of your show, right? So how involved do you get the audience?
The audience is it. Well, the kids often we ask them to help us move the story along. So if the hero in the story or anybody in the story needs to be filled in on some information, then the kids are there to help us push the story along. And we also have a famous chase scene. In every single production that we've done, there's been a chase.
Well, there has to be a chase scene.
And the kids really they get so excited at that point because there's always fast music playing and everybody's running around the stage, and people jump up out of their seats and they're like, "He went that way! He went that way! Go that way!" There's lots of screaming. Yeah, that's always a fun part.
That means you never know how a show is going to turn out, right, Terrence?
No, when we rehearse, we try to anticipate what kids are going to yell at us so that we can work around it.
Not at you, but
sometimes they've been smarter than us too. They've pointed out huge plot holes.
Oh, yeah.
And left us stranded there thinking, oh, well, never mind that.
Yeah, kids are very astute to
That's
plot
a good
holes.
point.
Mm-hmm.
What if the kids are funnier than you?
That happens a lot. Yeah.
No.
So tell me
Impossible.
this: what when a show is great? Like, I mean, when it's what makes that show fantastic? What's going on when a show is really working?
When the audience knows what's going on. That sounds stupid, but when you know that the people watching have picked up on everything you've tried to put into a show, and usually laughter.
Yeah.
The big one is laughter. It has to. If they're laughing, then we know we've done a funny job, and that's basically what we're there to do.
And when everybody's laughing too, when the kids are laughing and the parents are laughing, and we're laughing backstage
or on stage,
that happens a lot too. We're not amateurs, but that's when I think it. That's when I think it really works out.
You as a theater group compete with a lot of other entertainment sources out there, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, kids have so many entertainment possibilities, distractions, video games alone. I don't know whether you found over the years that increasing interest in technology, do you think that's made a difference in how kids view live theater, their attitude towards it? Are they coming out to it?
Yeah, I think it's made a difference for a lot of people, not just kids. There's an expectation. Younger people come to the show expecting a TV show or a movie, which it's not. Mm-hmm. But then, because of the interaction, they get drawn into it, which is important. I think if it was... I mean, kids aren't going to sit through a David Mamet play. So you have to make it interactive. Mm-hmm. Except for Mamet's famous Child's Play.
Do it.
The one about Jack Frost.
Glenn Ross.
Yeah.
Preschool. That was a great play. But
what about the fact that you're Mississauga-based? How important is it to you to do live theater that is outside of Toronto, right? A lot of people think, we got to go to downtown Toronto for live theater, big
specifically
theater.
In Mississauga, there isn't much of an outlet for children's theater. So we've benefited from that over the years, where parents know around Christmas time or in the summer they can bring their kids to a interactive, fun show, something they probably haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. And then we get a lot of repeat customers, like we're a business. We get a lot of repeat audience members who come year after year, and it's worked out very well.
Yeah, it's neat seeing some of your audience members get bigger, grow up.
That's usually what happens with kids.
Yeah, they do that.
You both have other careers when you're not working at Cow Over Moon Children's Theatre. What else do you do, Kathleen?
I'm an actor and I'm a character comedian. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Terrence.
I as well am an actor and a comedian and a weekend DJ.
You're a weekend DJ? Now, I didn't see that in my notes here. Where are you a DJ?
I DJ a 60s dance night at Clinton's, downtown in Toronto.
Really?
Called Shake a Tail.
Yeah. So 60s, and you probably weren't even around then.
No.
Yeah. So tell me this: who goes to this?
A lot
event?
of people.
Mm-hmm.
People
What's
from
the
the ages
demographic?
of from 20 up to people in their late 60s, if not older. It's a great time.
It sounds like it. Well, congratulations on this new play. Hope it all goes well, and good luck with all the other many things you do in the rest of your life.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Kathleen. Terrence,
Right.
for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Kathleen Phillips and Terrence Palazzo are members of Cow Over Moon Children's Theatre. It's presenting Jack Frost for 2 limited runs in Toronto and Mississauga beginning this Friday. Check out cbc.ca/fresh air for a link to all the details.